do I start? How do I start? Fellas, I need to make an apology. And yes, my voice did just crack. I need to make an apology today. To you guys. Because I need to let you guys know something that is going to probably ruin your year. Because it's ruined mine. Basically, this information is gonna hurt. It's gonna do a lot to you, and I just want you to prepare yourself. So like the video and comment below. Prepare yourself, because she's back. She's back. That vegan teacher has returned.
Oh, we should first state though, the problem has been though with Inabber and Joe Robe. Unfortunately, they are somewhat problematic.
You know, I think the worst part about this clip is I'm being compared to Joe Robe. Now, if you are fortunate enough to not know who this bloke is, for one, I'm happy for you, but for two, I'm about to ruin that. Because basically, if you wanted a little explanation for who this bloke is, just take that vegan teacher's love for animals and kind of apply that to children. But yes, she's back on the internet, she's back apparently still eating meat, and she's still making these videos, and she's also apparently, well not apparently, I know she has, she's been basically saying a lot of horrific things about some of your favourite creators. Behind me is the board. Now on the board today we have that vegan teacher and a list of people that she has criticised and said probably some absolutely horrific things about. Right here you have Nikocado Avocado, SSNiperwolf, Kenji the dog, and also Gordon Ramsay. Now originally I was going to put more people on this board, but then I realised no ink, and I cannot be bothered to go down to the shop right now and buy ink. So instead, I'm going to list all the amazing people that she's been saying absolutely atrocious things about right now. Mr. Beast, Colleen Barringer, Joe Bartolozzi, Dr. Mike, Darman, Pancho, me, Ben Shapiro,
let's say, hypothetically,
Will Smith, Internet AJ, PewDiePie, Dream, and also everyone's favourite content creator, James Chart. Are you not in prison yet? But yes, she has clearly been a very, very busy lazy. These are all in the space of the last year, and it's like, oh my god, how have you managed to say so many bad things about so many different people?
You're just so happy that Mr. Beast bought a whole store full of food and donated it to the poor, right? What did that include? Dead bodies who suffered. Innocent chickens who were murdered with their throats slit. A bunch of eggs that came from a cycle of violence where baby boy chicks are ground up alive. A bunch of milk products that came from slitting the throats of newborn baby calves because we stole their milk. The whole thing is wrong. Nothing that he did in that equation was good.
Like seriously, Fedda, some of the things that we are going to be discussing today are genuinely so mind-blowing that I'm actually shocked. Like some videos and clips that she says about Nikocado Avocado, the LGBTQ+ community, and Mr. Beast are so horrific that I'm actually shocked, and I implore you to stay, but I also implore you to please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like 53% of you aren't subscribed, and that genuinely makes me very sad, and it makes me embarrassed to speak to my parents. Well, to be honest, I was embarrassed after my exam results, but I'm still embarrassed now, and it's even more embarrassing that you guys aren't subscribing. So please subscribe, please like the video, and if you want to be a true champion, comment beans down below, join the nation, join the movement. But yes, we're going to continue to get into this because I am genuinely shocked, I'm genuinely horrified, it's insane, and I'm just starting to lose my marbles.
Hello everyone, and especially you, members of the LGBTQ community.
oh no, this is horrible!
Why the f aren't you vegan yet?
F you.
Huh? What's your excuse? You know, you don't like oppression, right? So why are you oppressing others? That's what I want to know. If you don't like oppression, why do you pay for your people to do it to another group of individuals? Innocent turkeys, pigs, lambs, sheep, rabbits, all of these innocent animals who are exploited in the industry. Why do you pay for that? And at the same time yell, oh, but I'm so oppressed. Meanwhile, you are doing the oppressing yourself.
Okay, now, this is a clip, basically, of that vegan teacher addressing the LGBTQ plus community, and, it's probably one of the most unreal clips I've seen in a while. Here is your average member of the LGBTQ plus community. This right here is a prime alpha male, but according to this woman right here, this bloke is on the same level as a big old turkey. And to be honest with you, I don't really think that's a false equivalence. I mean, yes, I am a big fucking turkey. But to be honest with you, this whole thing does just kind of disappoints me, because there was a point of time where God was like, you know what, fellas, these last 4.5 billion years, they've been a little bit shit, haven't they? There's been a little bit disappointing. I know. I've not even released DLC for humanity yet. It's like, yeah, that's true. It has been bad. So what are you going to do? And he said, you know what, fellas, I'm going to do this. And you know, for a while, it was a fantastic, beautiful era. The birds were chirping again. They were singing happily, living in fear that some random strange lady isn't going to start feeding them plants. You know, they can continue to eat their meat-based bird feed. And you know, Nikocado Avocado, he could happily eat his 300th mukbang this year. And the gays could just continue to eat their roast turkey on Christmas Day. It was wonderful. It was fantastic. It was beautiful, man. As Homelander said,
it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
And you know, you may be thinking, Fraser, you shouldn't be using Homelander as a guy to look up to, and I would agree. But if there's anyone that's clearly been looking up to Homelander for inspiration, based on what I'm going to go through today, it's definitely that vegan teacher, because like all good things, it could not last. And yes, everything changed when the vegan attacked.
Nikocado Avocado, you fail again. You fail ethics class. You fail at being a decent human. You are a piece of shit. That's what you are. Let's change the laws and have these kinds of people removed from the planet.
I feel like I've heard this somewhere before. There was a bloke in a certain part of history that kind of said this familiar rhetoric, and I'm sweating thinking about this, and also because it's 30 degrees, but it's kind of strange that she's like, oh, you failed the moral test, but she's like, also, we've got to get rid of these fucking people. We've got to get rid of these people. It's like, are you okay? Like, you are sounding like a bloke. I can't say the bloke for YouTube reasons, but that's quite concerning. That actually is genuine. I can make the jokes, but that's slightly worrying. But yeah, basically, in the last few months, the vegan teacher and Nikocado Avocado have been having quite a lot of beef, and that isn't a pun, because to be honest with you, I think if the vegan teacher started eating beef and then you contribute this guy's meat consumption contribution, that would probably start another world food shortage crisis, and I don't really want that. We can only so much equivalent for this bloke's mukbangs, so if we add this woman into the fold, I think it's just gonna be an absolute bed of carnage, and I personally do not want that. But yeah, there are all of these videos right here, and to be honest with you, I am genuinely quite impressed. The internet has finally, and I mean finally, managed to do something it has been struggling to do for a very, very long time. Now, every year or so, a new creator, a new influencer pops up, and they have to battle it out with another influencer for who is the most annoying creator. And what we have here is the clash of the titans. We've got Nikocado Avocado on the one side of the ring, and we've got the vegan teacher on the other side of the ring. But it very much seems that, you know, that vegan teacher has actually won that battle, because Nikocado is gone, and I don't think the bloke's coming back anytime soon. But my personal favourite video out of all of this is titled Gay Pride, 7 Deadly Sins, 15,000 Sheep, Baby Birds, Bella Vegan Dog, and Nikocado Avocado. And to be honest with you, this does kind of sound like the title to a highly illegal adult tape that you could get on the deep web. Personally, I don't want to see that. I don't really want to know what 7 Deadly Sins and 15,000 Sheep have anything to do with Nikocado Avocado. But yeah, there's some truly certain statements in this. Again, they are definitely statements which kind of make you think, huh?
And I'm here on social media for one reason only: to try to raise awareness about what the animals are going through. Now that means that I pick on every community. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, doesn't matter if you're a kid or an older person. It doesn't matter to me what your religion is.
I mean, when somebody says something like that, you always know that you are about to hear the most insane, unhinged, batshit thing possible. And yes, this video is pretty much that. It's basically just a load of weird things about pride and the LGBTQ plus community. Because despite being a part of it, that vegan teacher does her absolute best to pretty much just dunk on that community and just say some weird and questionable things like this.
Being proud of your sexual identity is ridiculous. It's a waste of time. And it doesn't help the world to be a better place. There's nothing wrong with being gay, though. Don't get me wrong. Gay, lesbian, pan, bi, any of these, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with loving who you want to love. And there's nothing wrong about showing that in public. I'm simply saying that it's nothing to be proud of. You haven't done anything. You haven't made the world a better place. You haven't stopped the suffering of others just by being gay, lesbian, trans, or bi.
I mean, how am I meant to stop the suffering of others by being bisexual? I mean, what do you want me to do? Fuck Vladimir Putin? I don't really know what you're getting at here. Like, what? Am I meant to just try and sleep with every known terrorist on planet Earth? Because, to be honest with you, I don't think I can achieve that goal. For one, I'm in a relationship, but two, I just don't think that's really a viable option. Because one, I think if I tried to, initiate something with big old Vlad, he'd probably do some things which would probably lead to a bad situation. Let's just say that. I don't think that's a viable option. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if I want to kiss those big Russian lips. Not really for me personally. Maybe they're for somebody else. Just not me. It makes me want to take down my coming out video, to be honest with you. But yeah, after this, it just kind of gets a bit weird, because you're probably thinking, well, what's Nikocado Avocado got to do with any of this? And, well, again, he really doesn't. She just kind of brings him up for no reason. It genuinely feels like Vegan Teacher has this lovely bit of fucking hatred for Nick. And, like, whilst I get the bloke is questionable, it seems that she actually does have a passionate hatred for this guy.
Instead, be proud to be a good human. There are good members of the LGBTQ and there are bad members, just like with every group. Don't hang out with people who are mean. It's better to be alone than it is to be with others who will set a poor example for you to follow.
I mean, what are you even talking about, mate? 5 clips back, you were saying how you want the removal of people like Nikocado from society. Is that not a little bit mean? Is that not sounding familiar to some horrible people out there? Like, I think that's not exactly something that's nice. Like previously, I did show you all of the YouTubers that Vegan Teacher has basically been going on a tirade about in the last year since her insane return to just being even more insane. And some of the statements out there are just so, like, I'm not even joking, just actually quite horrific. There was a title there saying, Mr. Beast pretends to be generous, but pays for torture, kidnapping, and murder. And I mean, I know the bloke wanted to make Squid Game realistic, but Jesus Christ, I don't think he did that in the video. But this video is just another perfect example of that Vegan Teacher's spiral and how she's basically willing to say absolutely anything mental for attention now. Because fellas, let's be real, I am not dumb. Don't do that. Come on. I mean, I'm not. But, okay, I am a little bit, but I can acknowledge that Vegan Teacher, I personally believe, whilst she does hold her vegan views, I definitely do think that her veganism is very much a real thing. I also think that she is deliberately provocative in order to get attention from certain fan bases and certain communities on the internet. Because I think, for one, she thinks she's going to get more money if she gets more attention and more notoriety on the internet, which is ultimately true. Hate clicks at the end of the day are still clicks, and you are still getting ads, and you are still putting money into that Vegan Teacher's pocket by watching her videos. But at the same time, I also think that she definitely believes that this somehow is going to actually spread the message of veganism. Now, I do disagree with that, because I have genuinely heard people say that they are questioning veganism because of that Vegan Teacher. I'm here to say, don't do that. Continue doing what you're doing. It's a genuinely good thing. Like, I don't think veganism is bad, and please don't let some nutjob on the internet sway you away from your personal beliefs. But funnily enough, what I'm trying to get at here is that vegan teacher is very, very similar to Nikocado Avocado, despite she clearly seems to hate the bloke. I said recently in a video that Nikocado Avocado has basically just been going on a downward spiral in the last 8 months because he is incredibly desperate to get to the levels of notoriety and attention that Critical gave him once Critical made his video about him. I think that since then, he's been basically just making the absolute most insane batshit videos possible, including recording him have a heart attack on camera and put it onto the internet. And I think that vegan teacher is pretty much doing the same thing. I think she wants to get back to that early 2021, late 2020 attention, and she is now just going to say the most absolutely horrific things about every possible creator that she can find. And that's only proven when you take a look at her videos about Mr. Beast, because these videos are genuinely, oh god, they're so bad. They are so bad, and I'm just going to show you actually one of the more tame ones.
The sponsor of this video is dairy.
This is the face of an animal abuser. This is Mr. Beast. He has more than 80 million followers on YouTube.
The sponsor of this video is dairy.
Mr. Beast pays for the rape, torture, confinement, enslavement, kidnapping, sadness, and murder of innocent animals who never did a single thing wrong to him ever.
Now, as I said, I know that this person is deliberately provocative in order to get a response from Mr. Beast's fans, other fan bases out there, and just in general people like me. Yeah, and at the same time, I do agree the dairy industry is, you know, horrific and just as bad as the meat industry. But just because of that, and just because of people consuming milk, that doesn't mean that they are these horrific people. And to dub somebody like Mr. Beast as all of these things, to equivalent him to these mental things, like some of the worst possible things a human being can commit, like actual atrocities, is genuinely so fucking messed up. And not only does it downplay the things that you're speaking about here, it just makes it into a little bit of a joke, and that is obviously insane and so utterly wrong. You can agree that the dairy industry, meat industry is bad, yet at the same time, I don't think it makes you a murderer that contributes to like horrific things. I mean, I'm going to ask a very honest question here. I know for a fact that vegan teacher, she basically forces her dog to be a vegan. And now I think this question could actually stump her. If you gave your dog a little bit of meat, you put a little piece of chicken in front of your dog, what would the dog do? Do you think it would be like, no, I'm a vegan and I want to continue eating my vegan food? And if it did do that, that's great. But at the same time, do you really think it's going to do that? Because personally, I think your dog is just going to instantly go and eat the chicken and have a good time consuming it, because your dog just wants to eat food that smells good to him, you know? I think that's just a natural way of life for a dog, perfectly fine. But then do you then brand your dog as a murderer? Because your dog would definitely eat meat. So is your dog also a murderer? You may say that's insane, she's a dog. But it's like, well, no, you put human beings on the same levels as cows, pigs, and sheep and stuff like that. So surely if you gave your dog a bit of meat and it went to eat it, you now value your dog as a murderer, somebody that contributes to this horrific stuff here. Surely at the same time, you then realize that you are living with a murderer, a horrific human being. And why would you do that? Why would you enable that behavior? You're living with a murderer. Now, obviously, I know that logic is absolutely insane, but if we're going to use your logic and apply it, then we're going to have to use it on you as well, unless for some reason that vegan teacher is above that. Personally, I don't think so. So yeah, obviously, all of that of what I just said is completely and utterly mental, just as it is to suggest all of these horrible things about Mr. Beast is absolutely mental, just because the bloke took a sponsor. My friends, I do not want to sound like a 16-year-old with a faded haircut on social media, but there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. Even if you like living under capitalism, I think we can all admit that by living our lives in some way or shape or form, we have contributed to the suffering of another human being, because that is the world that we have created under capitalism, you know? We trade with unethical companies. We use products which have been built in places where people are forced to work for minimal wages, if not any wages whatsoever. This is something that in this society and world we've created that we have to accept that yes, there really isn't any unethical consumption, because at least at some point in our life, we have contributed to an unethical practice. It may be the clothes you're wearing, it may be the phone you're using, because I don't really want to say where these iPhones come from, and I do bet that you yourself also have a mobile telephone, that vegan teacher, and usually those phones are produced in places or environments where they're not really good. So please don't lecture me about unethical practices, because we've all contributed to them, whether you like it or not. We have. That thing right there, it's probably been made in a very bad place. And I, to be honest with you, yeah, I do feel kind of bad looking at it right now, because one, it's quite overpriced. I never fucking use it, but it looks nice. Basically, what I'm trying to say here, it's really funny to hear the things that vegan teacher says about unethical practices, because you can just kind of switch the logic straight onto her. And I know the little fucking meme about, oh, you live in society, so that means you can't contribute. I get that. But at the same time, you can make society better without calling everybody else a fucking murderer and other horrific things. And obviously, just because there's a lot of unethical practices in this world, that doesn't mean you can't contribute to your little ways of helping everybody. You know, that's absolutely fine. And I think veganism is genuinely a wonderful thing and a great way of contributing to this world in a positive manner, you know. I don't have a problem with vegans, and I hate that people think that I do. Like, there is nothing wrong with being vegan. In fact, it's a very good thing, and I genuinely applaud you if you are a vegan. But at the same time, I do find it weird that somebody like this uses the logic that she uses, because it can be absolutely turned on her, like I said with her dog, but also with herself, because she is so freely admitting in the past that yes, she once also regularly ate meat.
That vegan teacher ate meat. So good job, you get a check mark right away, because it's true. I did eat meat. A long time ago, I used to eat meat before I...
Whoa. You can't just say, oh, it was a long time ago. It was a different... It's like, no. If somebody fucking commits murder, they're going to jail for 20 years. Hopefully. Depends on what country you live in. If it's America, probably not. But, you know, if it happens, like, usually, there'll be some criminal repercussions. And you think eating meat is all of these horrific things that you accuse Mr. Beast of. And you even said things like Nikocado Avocado should be removed from society. So it's like, well... if you've done that too, then why is this all not applicable to you and your dog? I mean, don't, if your dog's watching, I don't have a problem with you. I'm just using you as an example for this stupid logic. But yeah, it can be applied to you and your dog. So just because you stop doing it now, if you think everybody's a murderer for eating meat and a horrific human being, then surely you are also a terrible human being. And oh, I've changed my ways now though. That was a long time ago. I'm no longer eating meat and dairy. Okay, great. Usually that would be a normal human response to be like, yeah, well done, buddy. Obviously you ate meat once, but now you don't. But at the same time, again, the logic factor. Your logic is fucking stupid. And we're going to apply that stupidity because, I mean, I am very petty. To be honest with you, I'm a petty little man, but I also think it makes a lot of sense. But I think the worst part about that vegan teacher is that, yes, she does a lot of this stuff for attention. She is incredibly provocative in order to garner views from communities out there and fan bases out there who will see them slandering their lovely old bloke, Mr. Beast. They're saying, please leave Jimmy alone. He's just trying to make Squid Game. And I would say, that's great, but I also don't want like 100 people to die. But, you know, yeah, I can get why people will get mad. And I would say, yes, she is trolling. Yeah, at the same time, she's also not. Because in my opinion, she definitely believes everything that she is saying, but she just kind of attributes it to random online creators to kind of push that message and garner views via her insane opinions. But my friends, we now get to the point of the video of where, you know, so far it's been like, oh, well, that thing you said there, that was, you know, that was quite bad, you know, you probably shouldn't say those things. But then we get onto this next part of where it's like, you actually think like that? Oh no, no, That's not good. That's not good at all. I'm just gonna play a clip, and I'm gonna mute some words, and you can kind of fill in the gaps. But oh god, oh.
Stop hurting these innocent animals who never did anything wrong. Mr. Beast, do you know what happened in World War II to the Jews?
Oh god, why? Why are we going? No. Why? Why would you say that? What? What the fuck? I'm smiling because it's like, I can't even give words. There are literally no words, and it's like, I know it's like deliberately provocative, but I mean, it's doing a fucking good job of it because I am provoked.
They were also kidnapped, imprisoned, and then put into gas chambers for having committed no crimes. The holiday never ended for the animals, Mr. Beast.
You know, the internet's like this place of where, you know, you can give like opinions on everything, can't you? You can just say what you want and there's no repercussions. And I'm starting to think maybe somewhere down the line we kind of went a wrong direction. There was a point between 2000 and 2022 of where something just changed. Like Thanos snapped his fingers and then suddenly everyone just got really fucking stupid. And I think what we have here is like the worst example of that. Like, this is like, oh no, there's like, you got some stupid people here and there like me, but then you've got the boss, like the Elden Ring, like the Melania of vegans. And it's like, my god, we really need to go back. Like, we need Captain America to find the Infinity Stones and just fix whatever's gone wrong in this timeline. Because it's clear to me that something's wrong, and I don't think we can progress as a human society until we fix that problem. Now, I'm not going to play any more of that video because, to be honest with you, it just gets worse and worse. Like, you're probably thinking, well, how can it get worse? Well, she basically just starts to place images, edits of places from things that happened in the 1940s, which I won't say because I don't want this video to get like striked or age restricted. But yeah, she kind of does some horrific edits involving animals replacing humans, and I don't even want to show you it, to be honest with you. I don't want to build it on this channel because it is absolutely horrific. And like, while she does just say this for attention and to be provocative, again, I do think that she believes these things, and I do think that's incredibly worrying. And that's probably why I am a little bit more shocked, because yes, it is for attention, but at the same time, she actually thinks these things. And now what I think makes this even worse is when you go and actually take a look at her new TikTok account, and it has 244,000 followers. And like, I don't know if like half those people like bots or something, or maybe they're people that just hate follow them, but 244,000 followers in the space of a few months, that's more than I've gained in like a year. You know how sad that is and depressing? Like, God, please just subscribe so I'm not embarrassed anymore. I've got to go home and tell my parents this stuff. Like, oh, yeah, Dad, I made a video today. And he's like,
Oh, well, the vegan teacher got 200,000 followers in like 2 months. Did you do that?
No, I didn't. Oh, God, I should have just done a normal, better job than whatever this is. I think what makes everything so horrific here is that she's so happy to like compare eating meat and the meat industry to the horrific things that happened in the 1940s. And at the same time, she's also happy to admit that she herself contributed to that and ate meat. And it's like, what?
I understand. Yep. I know what you mean about the guilt. You know, I wasn't vegan for a long, long time. I ate meat, I ate dairy, I had ice cream and eggs,
cheese, all of it.
Surely if you equivalent eating meat to horrific war crimes that have happened in history, you wouldn't go around bragging that you yourself have committed to those horrific war crimes. Like, in my reasonable logic here, I think if you think murder is bad, you wouldn't go and fucking murder somebody, you know? That's usually the mantra we like to say in society. Murder bad, you know? And you think that little piggies being put into little packets where you eat little burgers, that you think that's murder? Fair enough, you know? But at least don't go around happily bragging that at one point of time you also used to murder things, because to me that's a little bit suspicious. That makes me think, well, if you've done that, if you're that like easygoing with murder, have you killed someone? And now with Mr. Beast, it doesn't end there. Like, the clips I've shown so far, there haven't been many, but to be honest with you, you don't really need to see many more because they're all so bad. But there's another one titled, Mr. Beast, no amount of good you do for the world can undo the damage you are causing. Now, I've not actually looked at this video once, and I'm just going to click on it for the first time, randomly click to a time segment, and I just want to see what she says. Just one little segment. And if it's good, maybe we can roll a few back things that I can't speak. Maybe we can roll a few things back what I've said in this video. No, we can't do that, can we? No, I think she's irredeemable at this point. But we're just gonna take a look.
You have one job while you're on this planet, Mr. Beast, and that is to make the world a better place and not on the backs of the animals. No matter how much money you give away, if you do it on the backs of the innocent animals who are basically acting as your slaves right now, you are perpetuating this holocaust going on.
Well, no, that failed fucking miserably. Like, I don't want to laugh, but it's just like, oh, you just feel ill seeing and hearing this, you know? It just feels so unbelievably wrong. Oh, and she's saying that he has slaves? Oh, God. Susan, don't strike this video. I know I shouldn't be speaking about these things, but Jesus, man. Oh, why does it keep getting worse and worse and worse? I'm not going to go through any further of this. It does just make me want to throw up. This whole video has been like a journey. Like, there's nothing really I can say other than, like, there has been a clear downward spiral. And as I said previously, I think this mainly comes down to the fact that she is so unbelievably desperate to get the views she was getting during the drama of 2021, the early times, you know, back when she was beefing with Gordon Ramsay and stuff like that, no pun intended. And I think right now, you can look at her channel and you can clearly see that she is just so desperate to get those views back, and she is going to say some of the most crazy shit possible to get that. And I do actually believe that she holds the beliefs she says in her videos. Yeah, at the same time, she definitely mixes it in with a little bit of trolling here and there. So, like, the only reason I don't regularly cover that vegan teacher is because it pretty much just is the same thing every time, but at the same time, it's kind of not, because she just ups it and says something worse and worse. So whilst it's always the same rhetoric, it's always interesting to every so often go back and just hear what crazy shit she's saying this time. And it's clear that, yeah, things have just gotten absolutely mental, absolutely ridiculous. I'm just going to end the video by saying, please, vegan teacher, don't make a video responding to this, because I will cry. I don't want to cry. I really don't. I cry too much as it is. What? Sorry, the video's going to end there. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, I hope this has been a fun little run-through, rerun of whatever we had with this woman a year and a half ago. I've enjoyed this. Maybe we'll do part 2. If you like this video, comment that you want it down below, subscribe and all of that. Please go follow my social medias. inabberlive is my second channel. inabber is Instagram. inabber69 on Twitter. JediNabber on Twitter, because I'm mentally ill and have 2 accounts. Yeah, all there in the description. Thank you very much. Stay woke, and don't forget to brush your teeth. Hello, this is the post-credit scene. This is where I'm here to tell you that if you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, again, I'm just going to be sad and embarrassed. Can I just please hit 1 million subs? It's taken a while. I'm finally being consistent on this channel, so just reward me. I'm going to say, just go and binge all of my videos. Like, I'm not even joking. Go watch this video, and then watch this video, and then come back to my Twitter account and tweet me saying, Fraser, I watched the bloody videos, and maybe I'll follow you back. Probably won't, maybe 1 or 2 of you, because I do occasionally follow some of you guys, you fucking vermin. I'm joking. You're just slightly below. You're not. Well, you're very much below me. I am the alpha male here. Honestly, you guys probably have a bad opinion of me. I'm just saying this to hide away from my crippling sadness. Please watch my videos, and goodbye.